Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Kat, and today we are back with another crypto video. Guys, again, excuse my background. Listen, I'm trying to get a desk and chair very soon, hopefully by the next episode. But anyways, today I wanted to come back with another PulseChain network video. Again, you guys already know I'm bullish on PulseChain network. Obviously you guys didn't know, it launched kind of second or first beginning of the second quarter of 2023, and I think we've seen the chart is not the most appealing, but again I think we're truly past that hype phase where people either underestimated and they weren't happy and they left, and then now we're in the growth phase where the utility and the true value of PulseChain will really find itself. Nevertheless, today we're going to talk about Fetch Oracle. Okay, you've seen me talk about Power City, one of those big ecosystem projects that are in the works. Absolutely game changing for PulseChain, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be covering almost an even bigger project called the Fetch Oracle. Now, this doesn't have any pre-sales, no token has launched yet, but there will be a token that is called Fetch, okay, which will also be related to its reward system, which you will see. It's basically kind of like a blockchain where there's going to be validators, which here I think they call it reporters, and there's going to be tips, which is basically obviously the rewards of when someone fully gives provides when the Fetch Oracle, for example, let's say, returns an information, which we'll get like how a Fetch Oracle works. But to keep it simple, obviously it's kind of like an API. When there's going to be a successful API call, that the user has to pay a small amount. That small amount now is split into each reporter depending on how many tokens they stake. In a way, it's literally like staking, which we're going to learn more about. I hope I'm not wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong, because it's basically it's not a proof of work, it's a proof of stake, but it's a whole ecosystem where it is an API. Ladies and gentlemen, it helps. There's a lot of use cases which we'll get into today. We're going to be reading the white paper, but I'm going to actually scroll all the way down to the last page, which has the use cases, and we're going to start off with this after we read the front page. So Fetch Oracle, a fully decentralized, transparent, and permissionless Oracle system. So again, it kind of runs on that same kind of technology that blockchain does. How there's a lot of for example, validators or they are validators, right? Because there's so many of them, it's very hard. You would have to have majority control over, like, let's say the power of users. Like if we're talking about, for example, let's say Ethereum, right? You'd have to have 51% of Ethereum tokens to then be able to compromise the system, which that would never happen. You'd have to own half or just over half of Ethereum. So kind of the same thing here. We already know that Bitcoin is super secure. Crypto in general is super secure. So using that same technology and same kind of concept of validation, verification, and probably even authorization, using that technology here. So this is pretty good. And here it says powered by Tellor technology, built natively for PulseChain. So that's pretty sick. So this is only coming on PulseChain. So the problem, what is the actual problem? Because they're not just going to come up with a solution for a problem that doesn't really need or doesn't have demand. So what is the problem? Oracles are essential for blockchain based smart contract applications that require access to real-time and real-world data, such as price feeds. But there is a problem. Centralized points of on-chain data are increasingly vulnerable to manipulation, attack, and censorship. So an example of this would be, like, for example, when people use flash loans to quickly do quick transactions. So for example, it could you could have a centralized exchange that has a price of Bitcoin, and you compare it to another centralized exchange that has a price of Bitcoin, but it's $1 higher. Someone can quickly use a flash loan to purchase the cheaper Bitcoin from that central exchange, and then quickly sell it on the more expensive centralized exchange. And if, for example, let's say if it was 5 million worth of Bitcoin, that's a lot of money. That could be, he could have made profit of, let's say, 20,000 from that. So obviously this is very draining for the liquidity pools, and obviously very vulnerable for those places, because that could lead to bankruptcy, that could lead to price instability, that could lead to fear index basically rising up, right? We don't want to see that, because that would prove that our systems and frameworks are not good enough for the mass adoption. Anyways, this is a quite good problems that we would like to solve. So the solution: Fetch is completely decentralized, immutable, and has no admin keys. That's what we like to hear. It's anonymous and it's automated. Nobody can control it, and you will see later on it has a fully autonomous governing system, which you love it. There's no whitelisting, no permission required, and it achieves true decentralization through an unrestricted distributed network of anonymous reporters who protect, verify, and validate the submitted data. I love the concept. It's very good. Like in terms of a cybersecurity perspective, like I've studied cybersecurity, this is very, very, very good. And obviously this is pretty similar how the actual blockchain runs. With Fetch Oracle, you can trust the data your smart contract applications are relying on is accurate and secure. Data that can be submitted by anyone and checked by everyone. Very good wording there. And then how it works. This is the part that I was trying to explain the whole time. It's a very good visual kind of, how stuff works. So obviously there's a tip jar, which users will have to pay to receive very accurate information, and that tip jar will literally be distributed to the reporters. So there's an incentive, ladies and gentlemen. You can actually make money once this project goes live, which, by the way, I will make a video on this, and I'll probably make tutorials on how to become a validator or a reporter, as they use that terminology in here, because this could be another case of passive income. They will have a Fetch token. It's called Fetch, which is literally, that's the next part. And then obviously here, real world data and events. So the reporters would receive that information, and then they would feed it into kind of the data pool, right? And then because we have so many people, as soon as the bad data would easily stand out, because we're always going to rely on the fact that the majority is correct. You won't have, when people say that's a bad apple, obviously it's implying that a bad apple is a very rare case, but it's an unwanted case. But yeah, as you can see, the visual super useful. I like this, to be honest. I mean, going down, this is the main part as well, because this is all good for projects and developers. I know that for sure, because I know Power City is going to rely on that. So some of their projects are on the waiting list. But yeah, Fetch token, this is where us as investors could also make money, and we're going to need Fetch token obviously to stake, I believe, and also to use the actual Fetch Oracle. The purpose of Fetch token is to align incentives between users and data reporters and the community of token holders. Fetch is used to fund contracts that provide payment to data reporters. That's what we said basically. These are the rewards for the reporters, which eliminates the need for off-chain payment agreements. Exactly. It's pretty convenient to just have it a native token Fetch, right? Plus, data submissions to the Fetch system are validated via economically rational community consensus. I want to know what they mean by that. Is that basically them trying to say, it will literally go to the percentage of your holding share, basically? I think they just use some fancy words there. Anyways, the PulseChain. So this is the bullish part, right? PulseChain. This is exclusive on PulseChain. This is a whole company of experts who have decades of blockchain, development, experience and a lot, and they're bringing that all on the PulseChain exclusively, guys. This is really, really sick. Fetch is truly decentralized, permissionless Oracle system that offers unbeatable advantages and flexibility. It is built for the community and powered by the community. That is true in every sense. Are you ready to revolutionize the way data is published and accessed on PulseChain? Don't settle for anything less than true decentralization. Join the movement today. Love it. And their Telegram, which I'm going to leave the link in the description, they have around 694, so quite relatively small, which I think this needs more light. I'm making a video on this because this deserves more light. I hope if you're a developer or an admin in fetchoracle.com, I just want to let you know, thank you for your work. You are contributing to the future, bright future of PulseChain, and just as a whole, bringing utility to crypto. Honestly, you're kind of the spotlight that we need right now, and we're gonna need in the future, obviously, because this is a foundation. Imagine how much trustable it is now to build your dApps, which is decentralized apps, on crypto using stuff like this, because we have services like this. So they think this is a win-win as an investor. Obviously, if you want to buy and fetch token, which I will drop a video absolutely once it's there, any updates. And this is also a win-win for developers, generally. So, and it's also a win-win for PulseChain. Simple. But yeah, I mean, knowing that we've gone through the website, I don't think there's really much need, unless obviously there's going to be way more details here. Like, for example, they show you the formulas of how governments works, which is pretty sick. But, this is a little too complicated to kind of discuss in one video. And right now the PDF is kind of taking time to load on me. There we go. Yeah, weighted vote and stuff like that. So fetch holders, outcome, fetch holder plus reporter plus something plus team. Yeah, that's even, it's going to take me some time to understand that. But let's kind of read quickly to kind of finalize things. I mean, I think we're already too excited for this. Security, if this loads, security is achieved through Fetch's architecture, which uses a simple bond/dispute mechanism to source correct values. So remember when I told you there's bad apples? So let's say if a data's, let's say, too late, or one of the reporters gave a wrong number, there's going to be a dispute mechanism, right? Which is obviously very, very well needed. And if multiple people dispute, I believe that's how it works. But we'll see. Ultimate ownership and security in the system is afforded by our government's contract. So it's obviously just a contract that has predefined conditions and rules that's dictating, okay, who's correct, who's disputing, this will go through, right? There's going to be no one running this. This is fully autonomous. We love this. And then here, which we aim to align incentives from holders, reporters, users, and the team. There are two primary metrics used when determining the security of an oracle. How can a bad value get put on chain? Example, BTC/USD is 10 million. So that's an example of a bad. How much does it cost to censor the oracle? No good values can get through. For the former, this is the cost to break the government's contract of fetch. If we assume that a bad value will get caught, not go through unnoticed, then the bad value would go to a dispute. Okay, so this is like kind of the second case scenario, I guess, or second to worst case scenario, or first case scenario. Anyways, you guys know what I mean. For the value to be put back on chain, the vote would need to settle such that an incorrect value is deemed correct, which is basically impossible. As I said, you would need majority power of voting, right? With multiple rounds of voting. So this also eliminates kind of like flukes, right? The malicious party would need to get the point where he would have 54%. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I already said this, of voting power in the system, and for this they would have to take over 3 of 4 equally weighted government stakeholders, holders, users. Yeah. Since the government's contract is only partially based on the token weighted fetch. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. There are other factors at play. So, for example, where voter shares. Okay, this is it's getting a little too detailed for this video. I just wanted to give kind of an overview, but I love it. For Fetch, there are 4 groups of stakeholders in the Fetch system. So Fetch holders, reporters, users, and team. That's good to know. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, I think I actually might end the video there. Okay. It's super exciting. I love how they've actually explained it. Like, that's the whole point of a white paper. It's literally like a normal business when you have a business, the whole document, market research and stuff, where they explain everything. I love it. And this is also the dispute system, how it works. This is really good. Again, guys, I'm going to leave all the link in description for the white paper, for the Telegram, for the Twitter, and for the website. Go ahead, join the Telegram, say hello to them. They're very welcoming. They're very heartwarming. If they're nice people is all I'm trying to say. I've spoken with a few of them, and even the people, I mean, you guys can see, they're just asking when, which I'm not sure when this has, which is a great question, right? When is the ETA on this? I think, if I remember quickly seeing someone talk about things, but, don't take me, this is not, I'm not like a representative of Fetch, obviously. So, take this with a pinch of salt. I'm thinking around first quarter of 2024. I believe so. I saw someone say first quarter. I'm not 100% sure. It's either that or early second quarter again. I don't know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of Fetch? What do you think of PulseChain? How long will it take till PulseChain absolutely, breaks through? I think it will break through personally, right? Non-financial advice. I think it will break through as soon as that bull run happens. And I think, yeah, PulseChain has a very unique spot in our, in between other chains and networks in the blockchain. So I think this will really make it an even, shinier network to use. This is great. I love this. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the video there. This video might be a little too long. Aside from that, guys, subscribe to my channel. I'm literally 2 subscribers away from 2,000 subscribers. I'd like to see that number, and thank you very much for watching. If you've reached this far, give this video a like, and if you have any projects that you want me to review, just send me a DM at my Telegram. It's at Coolide, link in the description. I have my business email as well, and you can get in touch with me. Aside from that, guys, follow my Twitter, and that is it for today's video. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you in the next video, where hopefully I'll have a table and chair. I'll see you later, guys. Take care.